Hey y'all. Okay, I'm trying to wait to see if Facebook is going to catch up. Hello. Welcome back to After the Snap. I'm your host, Tasha Pierce. If you can't tell, I'm in a bunch of different places and I am trying to, I might be in over my head, but we're going to find out in just a little while if I can do all the things that I think in my little noggin that I can do. So, welcome back to After the Snap. If you're joining me on Facebook, hey there, it's been a while, huh? If you're joining me on YouTube, it's a weekly thing, right? We've been here. And if you are listening as a podcast, what up, though? What up, though? So, yeah, we in three different places. I can be three different places at one time. You gotta know. If you don't know, you're gonna figure it out. It's that hip hop in me, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, you might not be from my era. People from my era know what the business is. I'm trying to get a girl. When I tell you I can't figure out, I'm trying to make sure that I'm coming over across from you guys, for you guys over on Facebook over here. I got somebody. If you would like to leave a message on Facebook before I get myself logged in on my phone, if you like to leave a message, you will have to give StreamYard permission to use your name and photo for me to be able to get your messages. So if that is something that you're interested in, do that. Set that up now. There should be a a link for you guys to do that. Okay. Today we got some topics for your ass, right? As you can see, there are some things that we need to discuss regarding Kanye West. Of course, Kanye is hardly ever far away from my thoughts. He makes sure that he is someplace for us to be part of the conversation. He wants to keep himself relevant by any means necessary, and sometimes, it even is a bad means. It don't always have to be a good thing, right? Okay, so we got Kanye on our docket. We also have the Emmys. It was a big old Emmys for black women, right? But did they kind of shade us? Did they still throw a little shade at the black women, even though they were, hey, yay, winning? We were winning, but were we really? We got that coming. Um, I am so happy that so many people have got their face into place. Um, if you are watching me via YouTube, via Facebook, or if you are listening as a podcast, do me a big old favor, great big old beautiful favor. Make sure you are hitting the like and the subscribe button on any of your platforms of choice. If you are listening as a podcast, please rate the show. Tell me what I can do better. We are jumping this thing off differently than before. So I appreciate, any comments in any direction in which I should go to make things better. With all that out the way, we got our main topics that we want to talk about. I am still unable to see myself over here on Facebook. So, no, I hope that you guys are getting me. I hope you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. I'm not just sitting here talking to myself. We're going to find out. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. It says this video, I want to watch it live. Right here. Yep, I'm here. I see me. So if I see me, that means you see me. Now, um, let's see. Okay. With all that, with all that, with all that, we will talk about Kanye West. And Kanye has ended his partnership with the Gap. He is threatening. It ain't even a threat. He is almost promising that not only is he going to end his partnership with the Gap, he is also going to be ending it with all of corporate America. So let's hear from Kanye, shall we? Let's hear what he has to say. Now, I know, uh-oh, I don't want to, I know things are different when we are looking at what, I hear an echo. I'm sorry, y'all. I know things are different and when we are looking at things on YouTube via Facebook versus Facebook. Um, I don't have the graphics set up for Facebook, but I do have them set up for YouTube. So that is going to be a big difference in the show. But let's just go and see what um, what Kanye. But that ain't Kanye. Okay, we got to make sure we pulling up Kanye. We're going to hear what Kanye has to say about his. Yeah, that's better. We're going to hear what Kanye has to say about his reasoning for walking away from corporate America. And then we're also going to find out some other disturbing things about Kanye, but it's always something reasonable and then something horrible coming from Kanye West. But the Gap said, you know what, Kanye, if you want to walk away from our partnership that we thought was doing well, you know, you wanted your clothes to be sold out of garbage bags and sat out in the middle of the floor for your fans and the people who enjoy your clothing. They have to dig. You heard me. They got to dig through a whole bag to find your the clothes that they like because that makes sense, right? Yep, that makes sense. Hey there, Lysandra. I see you now. For some reason, I'm not getting my chat up on my screen, but we'll work around that as well. Kanye West. I really wish this echo would stop. Lysandra, can you tell me, are you hearing feedback or an echo on your side of things over there? Let me know. So, Kanye West was having problems with the Gap because, like I said, he wanted his clothes sold out of a garbage bag. They would sit on the floor, and the people would have to dig through the bag to find their sizes. That was a choice made by Kanye. When the Gap stores were started to hang his clothes up, he would visit these stores and say, "No, you immediately take these clothes off of these hangers, put them back in that garbage bag, and sell them on the floor." I don't know why, but this is what Kanye wanted. Thank you, Lysandra. Thank you, girl. Um, so he wanted these clothes sold on the floor. Patrons had to dig through the bags. Uh, the Gap really didn't want to be doing that, and yeah, there was big problems. So the Gap said, you know what? We are going to, now that you say you don't want to be partnered with us anymore, Kanye, we about to erase all traces of you from our stores. It's going to be like you did not ever exist in the world of the Gap, right? So the flagship store, the one in New York City, they used to have several ads for Kanye's clothing, the Yeezy clothing line, covering the storefront and on massive video screens all over the store, above the store's entrance. By 1 o'clock Eastern Time on Wednesday afternoon, everything had been scrubbed. We did not even know that Kanye's stuff was ever in this store. All of it had been taken down. All of it. Why did Kanye, though? The question is, why did he end that deal? Originally, the deal was supposed to last through 2026. I don't know why anybody would make a deal with Kanye West that was supposed to last over a number of years because we know that he is very fickle. Kanye West will change his mind just like we change our underwear. So the people were buying the stuff, but then the retailer hadn't successfully distributed it up to Kanye's uh, his standards, and they didn't open any Yeezy Gap stores. Now that was one of the big problems for Kanye. He wanted stores with nothing but Kanye West attire in it, so nothing but the Yeezy brand was supposed to be sold in these Gap stores. The company was notified that, hey, Kanye was a little upset that they ain't got these stores going the way they promised. Um, Gap was given a contractual 30 days to get within some type of confirmation of what the Gap and Kanye had agreed to from the jump. None of those things happened, or it didn't happen fast enough for Kanye. And then Kanye said, "You just gave me the ammunition I needed to get the fuck out this deal," and that is what he's done. So you're trying to build something with Kanye West. We know he's a fickle dude, as I said. You also know that Kanye is really about Kanye. So if things are not, the light is not being shown brightly enough on Kanye West, Kanye is gone. And this is what the Gap has learned. This is also a shout, kind of a warning to Adidas and other brands that Kanye works with, that if you are not moving fast enough for his liking, that he is going to be gone. And we know, Kanye, if he's nothing else, he is an astute business person. Even with all of his problems personally, whatever those problems are, however you guys look at his personal issues, those issues are just a little bit personal. But as far as the business side of Kanye West, Kanye is usually on top of ish. We know this, right? So there's that. Um, Here's a issue, another part of this Kanye West story that I was a little troubled by, though. Kanye West has also started Donda Academy, which is the school that he has named after his mother, and we know that his mother was an educator, and that she was very high on education. In fact, she was the reason that Kanye even attempted to go to college. And of course, we know very famously that Kanye is a college dropout, but it did not stop him from being a successful person. And his mom, however, was still very big on getting an education. Kanye says, after starting these schools, Kanye said he hasn't read any book. Now, look, I know that we got to take everything that Kanye West says with a grain of salt, but this man said he ain't read no books. None. He hasn't read any books, and he doesn't anticipate reading any books, because reading books is like eating Brussels sprouts to him. I have picked this up from, I got this behind this. Let's go up with that. I have picked this story up from uh, from Billboard.com. And if I can get this big ad, they like to sell you shit. Now, we know that reading is fundamental, unless you're Kanye West. Apparently, on Friday, Kanye confessed that he still does not read books. He says, when you said I hadn't read this book, he said, I haven't read any book. This was in an interview with the podcast called the Aloe Full Mind. And he said, reading is like eating Brussels sprouts for me, and talking is like getting the Giorgio Baldi corn ravioli. I don't know who Giorgio Baldi is, and I don't know what corn ravioli is. So what I'm guessing he's saying, however, my guess is that he is saying that he don't read, he will listen to somebody explain something, and that's a little dangerous to me. Just like not saying I don't read, I just would listen to somebody tell me what they read. I could tell your ass anything. It's just like reading the Bible. And y'all know I was gonna take it here because I have these issues with the Bible and people interpreting, because I feel like you should interpret the Bible or any other book for yourself. And if you allow somebody to interpret it for you, then are you're basically at their whim. Whatever they decide, they are going to tell you that this book means, then you will take them at that instead of reading it and trying to discern it for yourself. Okay, I'm not going to be too I'm not going to be too hard on Kanye, but I don't think that that's a good look for somebody who started a school. The founder of the school is saying that they do not read. Um, Now, Kanye's admission, of course, doesn't stop him from being having a philosophical outlook on things, and uh, he while he's an intelligent person, he doesn't make intelligent decisions. He said there are two people: the man who thinks the man who thinks they can, and the man who thinks they can't, and they're both right. Of course, we have heard this saying before, but this is the truth. It's all in your mind what you can do. A person feels like I can do this, and they're gonna do everything in their possible what's possible to do it. But a person who thinks that they can't do this is going to figure out a whole bunch of reasons why it can't be done. Trying to get into Kanye West's mind is like a fucking bag of cats. You just don't know what you go get, how many ways you're going to get injured. Uh, the oak lies in the acorn. These are my thoughts on Kanye West. He's an intelligent person. You don't get to be a billionaire without being intelligent. But there is a level of ignorance there that I just don't like when it comes to Kanye. Anywho, tell me what you think about Kanye walking away from corporate America. He's threatening to leave the Gap. He's that threatening, or he's already left. I mean, he's already left the Gap. He's threatening to leave all of his other corporate uh, partnerships in the dust, and he's going to do this thing on his own. And if anybody can do it, it's Kanye West. But I'd like to know what you think. Is Kanye West somebody to look up to? He is a billionaire. And I mean, if that's a measure of success, then you got to say the man is successful. Or is he failing upwards? There are some people who do that. So let me know what y'all think. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts. Um, our next story is about the Emmys. Did y'all know that the Emmys was coming on last week? I did not. I'm gonna tell you. And look, I'm not only did I not know that the Emmys were coming on last week. I'm a person who this is what I talk about. I come here and I talk about entertainment and entertainment news. I do that weekly at the absolute least. I had no clue that it was Emmys week, and that's not good. It makes me feel like the Emmys were not marketing uh, the show, and I'm used to hearing about the Emmys at least weeks leading up into the Emmys, until the actual day that the show is coming on. Usually, we have heard several times that the Emmys are falling on this date at this time. Uh, oh, and I'm gonna pick your comment up, Bud, Lysandra. We're used to hearing that the Emmys is gonna show at this place at this time, and tune in to see if your favorites are winning. We ain't hear all that this year, and I feel like that's intentional. But before we get into the Emmys and before I talk about the intentions, I'm gonna pick up Lysandra's comment on Kanye West. She says he gonna launch his own site and he's gonna make more money. And the truth of the matter is, I look at it that way too. Kanye West is not doing anything accidentally. He sees that there now is a market for his clothing in uh, not the high end stores, but in like the stores like the Gap, right? Smaller budgeted stores. He can do that on his own. He doesn't need the Gap. He needed the Gap as a litmus test to see if there was enough interest. There is the interest. People was literally digging through garbage bags to get his clothes. So he knows now that if I do this on my own without the Gap and just make a mid-tier clothing line, it can work. I can sell stuff to them too. So yes, I'm with you, Lysandra. He's gonna launch his own site. He's gonna make more money, and we'll be hearing about Kanye's wealth rising even more. And also, Lysandra is adding that she didn't know about the Emmys either. And she and I, we talk about these movies. We talk about TV shows. Right now, our obsession is Handmaid's Tale, which is back. We have these discussions regularly For us to not know that the Emmys were playing last week seems like an intentional choice. They are also saying that the viewership of the Emmys is down. Do you think it is possibly because you guys are not telling anybody this shit is coming on? I mean, if we knew it was coming on, then maybe we'd watch it, But here we are. Here we are. We don't know that it's coming on. We can't watch it. Um, so was it marketed? They saying the viewership is down, and amazingly, this would be the year that was pretty much spearheaded by black women. I hit the wrong button, y'all. I'm not real bright. Yeah, when I say black women, we know famously right now that I don't know who this is over here laughing at me on Facebook. I would laugh at me too. um, as far as the Emmys is concerned, we know Cheryl Lee Ralph, who has been part of black television for literal decades, has finally won her first Emmys. We also see Quinta Brunson, who is the mind behind Abbott Elementary, a big old hit on ABC. We know that, oh, hey, Felicia. It doesn't have your name, it just says Facebook user. So, hey, sis. So, yeah, it don't, Quinta Brunson, the mind behind Abbott Elementary, this is her first foray into doing big things on network television. She had those YouTube shows that she put together, and they were good. I liked Quinta back then. But to see her now, she's got her first Emmy. We saw Oprah Winfrey win an Emmy. We saw Lizzo, who continues to win behind that Aries Spears kind of shade that he threw at her. She continuing to win. Go Lizzo. But all of these ladies, the big thing to me is we got black women doing big things, and all of a sudden y'all don't want to market the Emmys. You're saying, oh, the viewership is down. And even worse, Quinta Brunson, like I said, young chick, mind behind the hit show Abbott Elementary, was up there giving her Emmys accepted speech, and we have Jimmy Kimmel laying out in the middle of the floor, upstaging her speech. It was it was unbelievable. This is her first Emmy. You gonna get to up here? The only thing that people is thinking about is, why is this man laying on the floor while she's giving her speech? I felt like that was, again, intentional. It took away from the moment for these black women. Now, I know a lot of people will say everything ain't about race, and this might not have knowingly been about race. This might not have been intentionally racist on the behalf of Jimmy Kimmel or anybody else for that matter. But when black women are winning, it's like you still got us losing. I didn't like that. I didn't like the angle that they shot this thing from. In fact, when they talked about the fact that Emmy viewership is down, they used a photo of Cheryl Lee Ralph holding up her Emmy as the picture behind this story. Now, if you ask me, that's an intentional choice. That's not accidental. You don't accidentally shit on this lady's first Emmy after all these years of her attempting to get this Emmy. Now you shit on it by saying, but it wasn't nobody watching. We might even need to just stop doing the Emmys because nobody's watching. For real? Well, because I am, in a lot of ways, I'm a Jimmy Kimmel fan. I don't hate Jimmy Kimmel because of the way that he, in my opinion, shitted on Quinta's moment. I don't hate him. And I guess to solidify the fact that he's a decent dude, he invited her onto his show so she could walk all over his intros and all over his monologues and the such. So, yay, he made it up to her. But the fact that this happened in the first place is never a good thing. It happened. We got to ask ourselves why. I I'm just now looking behind me and see this big note that say last bottle at noon. That was for the grandson. I was supposed to feed him his last bottle yesterday, no later than or yeah, no later than noon, and I had to remind myself. So it's still up there. But I got my I got my other notes up there. What you see about this last bottle at noon? That's funny to me. But yeah, it just wasn't. Man, I wasn't no big fan of the way they did that. I wasn't no big fan of how they shitted on the moment of these black women. And Lysandra is in agreement with me. She's over here. She says they did not want to show. No, she said I've not seen one thing at all. The new, they knew black strong woman did their thing, and yeah, these women finally are winning. Yay! We all happy. We're all fired up about these things, and now all of a sudden, uh, oh, I see me twice. Well, how interesting is that? Uh, they had these black women doing their thing, and then all of a sudden, the show ain't no good. We ain't gonna market it, and we might not even have it no more. People are just not interested. I don't like that. Felicia, my sister, is saying put Ashton on the show. Ashton is my unofficial co-host, but right now I do believe he is with his parents. He has another job to do today. His parents have him, and he does not want to hang out with his granny today. And surprise, surprise, granny don't want to hang out with him today either. I've had enough of Ashton. I may call them and tell them to bring Ash. As a matter of fact, let me get them in here and say that Ash has to make an appearance. He is my off-screen producer. He usually doesn't make appearances on the show. Ashton is very instrumental in telling me how long a show is going to run because Ashton runs this house. So I'm going to call and see if we can get Ashton to make an appearance. Oh God, it's actually pretty scary.
Hello?
Hey, Chloe,
Huh?
is Ashton awake?
No, he just fell back to sleep.
Oh, I was gonna say, he's being requested on the show. They wanted.
Okay, I can bring him in there. I'm about to put him. I'm gonna put him in my sling carry.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, he gonna be laying on me. So yeah,
okay,
we'll come in there. Okay,
all right. See you in a minute.
okay, okay.
Okay, so off-screen producer Ashton will be making uh, an appearance. So if you wanted to see Ashton, here is your chance. He's coming. Oh wow, I kind of like this two camera angle thing of me though. We got one that's like bam hitting me right here. We got one that's over here. If you only know this if you're watching on Facebook. There there is only one angle on YouTube. Anywho, yeah, I was upset, and I'm still upset kind of at how they uh they kind of shitted on our moment, and I'm saying our. I feel like when they win, we win. Collectively. So, um, and I hope my sister is doing well. She's happy over here that she's gonna see her great nephew really soon. Here, he's gonna be coming in a moment to upstage me. We talk about men upstaging women. He about to come in here and upstage me as soon as his mama gets him put in the sling. He's gonna be put in the sling for a minute. Oh, I don't like that ankle though. I like this one. Um, uh-oh. Felicia, you let me know if you can hear me. I'm just gonna put us both on here. That way I know that the audio is coming through. So all of this stuff, this shade that's going through is not I don't know. I don't think it's coincidental. I think it's deliberate. I don't like it. Lysandra over here says she saw someone's speech on TikTok. Now I don't know which one whose speech did you see. Lysandra, did you see Cheryl Lee Ralph, the one in the black dress? Did you happen to see the one in the gold dress over here that's on your screen? Quinta Brunson. Now, Cheryl Lee Ralph sung a lot of her acceptance speech because just in case you forgot, she has a beautiful voice as well. She can sing. Um, yeah, it was just like we just they shat on the moment. I didn't like it, and I think that they need to do better, or or we need to put more stock, more of our weight behind shows that do celebrate uh, black excellence a little bit more. You know, the Emmys is a big deal. We need to make some of our award shows a big deal as well, because that way we know that we will be celebrated in these moments and that we won't have somebody make light of our moment. Because of course, you know, Jimmy Kimmel might feel one way because he's used to getting Emmys. He gets an Emmy probably every couple of years. He hosts the Emmys. He's the face of the Emmys in a lot of ways. So it might not be a big deal to him, but it was a huge deal to us. And even though he apologized after the fact is this thing happened, that they did upstage our women's, our sisters' moments. And I don't think that was a good thing. And I don't think it was an accident. And I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing any comments over here on Facebook. Oh, here he comes. Here comes, huh? Here comes Ashton. He's connected to his mommy. So if you guys, oh, it's been a while since we've seen.
We on TV.
I'm all over the place, girl. So any one of these things that you stand in front of, it's going to be.
Oh. I
So,
see it right here too.
yay! I don't know if you can see him, Felicia. She's looking for his little face. That is off-screen producer Ashton. He is here to make his first appearance today. He did make an appearance on another show, and he let us know that the show was going too long. He began to cry. So, so today it looks like everything is good. And Lysandra is saying that she saw Cheryl Lee Ralph, the one in the black dress. She saw her acceptance speech and that it was beautiful. Yeah, she sung and she did her thing, and she's very fired up that this was her first. Sad to say, her first Emmy for Best Supporting. Felicia says, "Oh, we got Raymond in the house. He ain't even got to tell me that's him. He say Trey 5 West Side. Good afternoon." And then Felicia says, "Hey, baby Ash." So hello, Ashton. He's in this thing. Yes.
He's
Look
sleeping,
at
but he
look at my dude. So yeah, maybe the next time he visits with us, he'll be awake, and we'll get to talk. We'll get to talk to him. We'll give him an interview about how hard it was to be a little baby coming up out of the womb. He did some work, baby. And Lysandra said, "Hey to the TT babies."
hey.
Oh gosh. So yeah, we got Ashton. He done came in here and upstaged me. Lord have mercy. I can't have not one moment. Ashton always come in here and make me
Work.
yeah, that's my baby. So our next thing. Bring him back if he wakes up.
Oh,
I'll be
okay.
happy to see him.
Yeah, I'm about to make him food right now. I'll make him some more food on top of food.
You say you got to make him food or
Make
you
some-
food?
Oh, him.
Oh, him. So she's got to cook some formula.
I'm about to say, what?
Cook
When
some
you're
formula for this
finished
baby. Huh?
When you're finished with this, can I borrow it?
Of course.
I have a homework due tonight, and I forgot.
Okay. So, I am now back. I got my mind back. I'm doing my show again. We're going to talk about the Woman King. And look, y'all know, just like I know, that when I first heard about the Woman King, if you've been listening to me for a while, I was so excited. And I'm not saying that I'm not excited now because I've not seen this movie yet. We do know that the movie is, as of right now, certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. It's sitting at like a 90-something% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. And that's a pretty damn big deal. Had a very decent opening weekend. Right now we are in day 2 of this movie coming out, and it's expected to make $18 million this weekend. which might not sound like a lot. It doesn't sound like a lot. But the truth of the matter is, it's a documentary, not a documentary, it's a historical action kind of movie. And uh, those are not necessarily known for having big box office premieres. $18 million, especially by it being led by mostly black women, that's a big deal. So it's done. It's doing its thing in the box office. The critics like it. It's making a little money. It's got some of the just the biggest one big beautiful black cast. Um, but we still are hearing that people want to boycott this movie. And when I first saw people saying, well, we're going to boycott this movie, I was like, well, why the hell would y'all do that? Especially when I was on Black Twitter, because we want these kind of movies. We want movies that are showcasing black talent, telling black stories in in a big budget type of way. We want that, right? But then I got to learning, which is what you never stop learning, right? I got to learning a little bit more about the tribe that was at the center of the Woman King movie. The true story about the Dahomey Amazons and their role in the transatlantic slave trade. Now, I'm going to read an article from Slate magazine, and I don't know if I'm gonna read it in its entirety, but I'm gonna read enough that you will get the gist as to why certain people have uh, have problems with this tribe being glorified in this movie, or at least what they think or feel is glorification. I'm not saying that it's being glorified, but there are those who say, "Hey, you guys are glorifying this tribe of people who." Oh, Felicia, you said hey to Chloe, and she done dipped on out of here. I didn't see that, but anywho, this tribe of women warriors. They were fierce female warriors, but they weren't anything to look up to. So let's talk about it. The Woman King, directed by Gina Prince Blythewood and written by Maria Bello and Dana Stevens, BTW. The writers of this were Caucasian women, and that's another thing that some people had a problem with. But going on, this movie portrays ancient West African kingdom of Dahomey. That's today's Republic of Benin, and its legendary all-woman regiment, the Agodi Agodije. Don't ask me to pronounce that correctly. It's Agodije. The film, which opens this weekend, is a vision of black female power starring Viola Davis, Sheila Atim, Tuso Mbedo, Lashana Lynch, who just a beautiful cast. Its promotional material blurbs a review from Variety that calls the movie the gladiator of our time. It also has John Boyega, who is another big name, but he's an actor, of course. He's not one of the females, but he is another big name black actor in Hollywood. Um, so, how does the Woman King handle another part of the Dahomey's history? The kingdom's involvement in the slave trade. At a time when the participation of African rulers and middlemen in the Atlantic slave trade gets described by Americans who want to divert attention from their own responsibility for the history of slavery as African complicity. This film's task is delicate indeed. Now, putting that in just lay terms, right? And not making it that cerebral. You got a story being told from the mouths of two white women. They were the screenwriters of this, and these two white women are telling a story about, y'all always talking about we enslaved y'all over here in America, white folks, but really, It was y'all selling yourselves off. Y'all sold, some of y'all that sold us. It's actually black women. In fact, y'all always talking about black women heroes. Yay. Well, black women were the ones who sold some of the black people into slavery. It wasn't us. That's what it feels like to some people. It feels like a way for them to say, yeah, y'all were slaves, but you guys were complicit in your own slavery. Now, whether or not we want to hear this, it is true. There were some black African tribes who were complicit in the slavery and being and some of their own being made into slaves. That is the truth. But do we want this story to be told from the point of view of two white women? That's a question. I feel like as long as they are staying true to the roots of the story, they're not adding or taking away anything from the story, then I don't know. The truth remains the truth no matter who is saying it. If the devil himself stood right here and told me the truth, I would have to take it. It's the truth, But in a lot of other ways, people are feeling like these are conversations that we should be having in closed circles. This is not something that should be made part of the greater diaspora of conversation where white folks can be putting in their thoughts on this. We don't want your thoughts on this. This is not me. This is me just this is not me saying it. This is me saying this is how some people think. Okay. So it's not the first time that the Dahomey tribe and its female military company has appeared on the big screen. In 1987, the movie Cobra Verde, which I did not have any clue. I don't know what this movie is about. The movie Cobra Verde by German filmmaker Werner Herzog, based on the novel The Viceroy of Ouida by Bruce Chatwin, represented the powerful West African kingdom and briefly depicted its women warriors. The new movie is also set in Dahomey in 1823, but the central character is not a white slave trader as Werner Herzog's film was. The central character is Naniska, a West African woman played by Viola Davis. And this woman warrior is the head of the Agodije. These fighters were mainly recruited among the dozens of royal wives of the king of Dahomey. So European traders and travelers who visited the region as early as the 18th century referred to them as the Amazons. That's like they're calling them Amazons because they are comparing them to the Amazons from Greek mythology. So, anywho, the Agodije, they emerged in the 18th century. They probably started fighting in military campaigns in the 19th century, especially during the reign of King Gizo, played in the movie. That's John Boyega's character in the movie. Now, as part of Dahomey's army, they fought wars that were waged with the main intent of producing prisoners to be sold into slavery in the Americas, especially to Brazil and Cuba. They were also sold to, I believe it was Alabama. So if your family has slavery roots in Alabama, I believe it was, or maybe Arkansas. Can't remember which one it is, Alabama or Arkansas. I might get to it in this article. Then 9 times out of 10, your family could have been sold into slavery by the Agodishe, who are represented in this movie. Now, that's like saying we are going to celebrate the Nazis, but we're all Jews. We're going to this movie that is celebrating the Nazis. That wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen. And the people are wondering, should we be celebrating this strong tribe of women? They were vicious. They were brutal. They were they were the truth as far as hand-to-hand combat. They was out there fighting with men. They were warriors. But they were also the reason why a lot of a lot of our ancestors ended up over here. Anywho, okay. So, with its focus on the all women regiment, the Woman King gets one thing right by representing Dahomey as a centralized and militarized kingdom and not a tribe, as popular movies tend to depict historical African states. I find myself even saying tribe. So, they were not a tribe, they were a kingdom. I'm sorry, I even make these mistakes. The kingdom of Dahomey's origins can be traced to the 17th century, but its expansion started in the 18th century during the most intense period of the Atlantic slave trade. In 1727, Dahomey conquered the kingdom of Hueda, who lived along the coast, took control of the port city of Ouida, inaugurating its active participation in the Atlantic slave trade. Historians estimated that nearly 1 million enslaved Africans were put on ships to the Americas between 1659 and 1863. And from that place, from Ouida, where the Dahomey kingdom were selling Africans off into slavery. That's a lot. A million enslaved Africans were put on these ships going to the Americas by the Dahomey kingdom. So we can't overlook how instrumental they were in making slavery possible in the Americas. However, I have not seen this movie. So I don't know if they're addressing this in this movie. In fact, there are some people on Twitter who said, well, yeah, they are telling the truth. These things did happen, but but they addressed it in the movie. I would have to see the movie to know whether or not they addressed it and if they addressed it adequately. We're here. A lot of us are here because of them. Even though they were, all of these things can be true at the same time. They can truthfully be some strong, fierce, beautiful black women warriors, and they can also be complicit in slavery. These things can be true at the same time. I want to know if knowing this now, will that make you think twice about seeing the movie? Or if you've already seen the movie, do you feel like their complicity, their part in the transatlantic slave trade was addressed satisfactorily? Let me know in the comments or in the chat. However, yeah, there have been rumors by a small group of people that they have revised history. They didn't represent well what happened in the transatlantic slave trade, and then there are those who say, they did. They told the truth. This is how things happen, and they addressed it well. In my opinion, again, I don't care who wrote it. If you wrote it and you're telling the truth is being told. You ain't sugarcoating this shit, and you're not exaggerating it either. Then I don't care who's telling the truth. The truth is true, no matter who is saying it. But if you sugarcoating shit, or if you're exaggerating to take the ownership of slavery and how white people were part of enslaving black people, because the Dahomey tribe say we're gonna sell you a whole bunch of people, don't mean that we had to get brought over here and treated poorly. You didn't have to do some of the things that was done to black people. Hey Davina, how goes it, girl? Yeah, you didn't have to get us over here and treat us like dogs just because this tribe of female warriors is They sold it. They sold these black people to you. Uh, Everybody is still at fault. The Dahomey tribe, or I keep calling them a tribe. See, I'm so used to it. The Dahomey Kingdom, and uh, the people who were bought other people, other humans, to use as slaves. All of that can be true at the same time. You're all wrong. Get what I'm saying? I don't know. So let me know what your thoughts are. Uh, the Dahomey tribe that is depicted in the movie The Woman King, a movie again that I had suggested that people watch. That kingdom of women soldiers or women warriors, uh, they sold black people into slavery. So now, I also want to know, and I think I may have asked this already, but if I didn't, I'm gonna ask it again. If now knowing this, now armed with the knowledge that this kingdom of women that Viola Davis, Lashana Lynch, that all of these big beautiful names are playing, knowing that those people sold possibly your ancestors into slavery, is this a movie that you can in good conscience support? Let me know in the comments. I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys have got to say about that. And I will come back to the comments. I hope that you guys, I hope it gets a little lively. Hope it gets a little lively. But yeah. While I am taking a little moment, I'm gonna have a moment. Yes, I am gonna have a moment to tell you guys that you can look in the description box. There are links to articles that are talking about the things that I'm discussing here today. There are also ways that you can get in contact with me on various social medias, and there are ways that you can support the show. Those ways being by leaving tips, by leaving one-time donations, by becoming a patron at patreon.com/Tasha Pierce, by joining on YouTube, by clicking that join button and picking one of the tiers. You can support me, I think, at $3 a month is the lowest. That you can support the show and help me keep this thing going. If these are things that you're interested in, look down in the description, or if you're watching on Facebook, it is also in the description of this live stream. So take a look at that and let me know, and if you feel like you can help out, help out. If not, it's such a big help with you just watching and sharing. And if you are watching and sharing at this point in time, make sure you are subscribed and that you have hit that like button. That helps. It really does. And now that was my pause for the cause. I'm going to take a little second, get myself refreshed here, and then we're going to start talking about Captain America, New World Order. I'm looking forward to that part of the conversation. Give me just a moment. Yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed, took yourselves a little break, ran to the bathroom. We're about to talk about Captain America New World Order. That is Captain America 4, for those who are keeping count. Captain America 4 is our first film, first big budget film with Sam Wilson as Captain America. And our Captain America, Sam, oops, that wasn't supposed to be there. Sam Wilson, our Captain America now is coming out on May 3rd, 2024. We heard from the director Julius Ona, who also is a black man. Yay, right? We are winning. Well, yeah. Uh, he explained to, and oh God, I forgot what publication he was talking to. Let's see, shall we? He was talking to the Nerdist. No, he was talking to IGN. I'm sorry, the Nerdist is the article that I have shared, but he was talking to IGN when he made it very clear that uh, this movie is going to be a paranoid thriller. Now, I meant to look up, and I guess I could do that. We could do this together. I meant to look up what other kinds of movies or what other movies were thought to be paranoid thrillers. And I'm going to look up paranoid thriller films. Now, a lot of people were saying that Captain America the Winter Soldier was a paranoid thriller. I felt like that was more political, but let me know if you guys uh, think differently in the comments or the chat, wherever you're watching. Let me know if you felt differently. Was Captain America the Winter Soldier more political, or was it more paranoia? And I'm going to tell you some of the, according to Goliath magazine, or yeah, Goliath, I'm going to tell you a few movies that are considered to be paranoid thrillers, and you let me know if you think that Captain America and the Winter Soldier fits into that same kind of genre. Flashpoint. Two U.S. Border Patrol agents discover a Jeep long buried in the desert along the U.S. Mexico border. Inside the Jeep is a skeleton along with the high powered rifle in a bag containing $800,000 cash. Who is the skeleton and what was the man doing with the rifle and the bag of money? That begins that mystery surrounding the plot of Flashpoint 84 film, starring Chris Christopherson and Treat Williams. The Border Patrol agents have become intrigued with the mystery and dig deeper and deeper in search of answers, despite the warnings of their bosses to back off and let federal agents handle the investigation. But the more the two Border Patrol agents uncover, the more the complex the conspiracy behind the skeleton in the Jeep. Hint, it involves a political assassination. Flashpoint is a solid thriller that has been largely overlooked, and so yeah, that's one. Enemy of the State. Now, if you guys remember Enemy of the State, that had Will Smith. He was a lawyer who became the target of a corrupt government agency and some assassins after he was given evidence of a politically motivated crime, unbeknownst to him. He didn't even know he had this evidence. So Gene Hackman is in this movie as well. He plays an NSA agent who used his technological savvy and genius to assist Will Smith into figuring out why people are trying to kill him and how to turn the tables on the politicians who have basically called for his assassination. Um, it does have a conspiracy theory type plot, which makes it more of a paranoia type thriller. Now, when you think of the name of our next Captain America movie, we think of that, the name of it is New World Order. And when you think of New World Order, if you're like me, you think about those conspiracy theorists, those people who, when they hear those three words, New World Order, all they think about is a evil government cabal who is trying to take over the world and make a one world government and have chips in your arms. And this is the type of thoughts that people who are into conspiracy theories, this is what they hear when they hear those buzzwords, New World Order. So it's not accidental that Marvel said we're going to name this show New World Order. We're going to call it New World Order because this is how Sam is going to feel probably. A paranoia, a feeling like the world is after him because of whatever. And I'm looking forward to seeing how they make that title fit the movie, especially since we know that we're getting a character back from all the way back from the Hulk movies, the leader, the guy that's going to be playing the leader, big old head, the leader. I'll find a picture and I'll put it in here probably. But the leader is going to be the big bad, or at least that's what is rumored, or at least we know that he's going to make an appearance. Right, the leader is. This is a movie this is all the way back from what 20 some movies ago. We are getting a callback to this character. That might be one of the things that will place a paranoia type spin on this movie. The fact that Sam Wilson being the first black Captain America, and the government did not want him to be the first black Captain America. He had to basically take it back because he thought, hey, the only person that could be Captain America is Steve Rogers. And it turns out that the government was like, no, the only person who could be a Captain America is a blonde hair, blue eyed person. Not necessarily Steve Rogers, just anybody who kind of looks like him. And Sam Wilson had to take it back. If you guys watched The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, you all understand that. We're also getting Carl Lumbly back. Carl Lumbly, in case you guys didn't watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which I'm highly suggesting that you do prior to May 3rd, 2024. But if you guys, 2024. I'm thinking this year is 2023. There's something wrong with me, y'all. I'm a little special. But May 3rd, 2024 is when this movie is coming out. Carl Lumbly is reprising his role as Isaiah Bradley. And Isaiah Bradley was the black person that the government experimented on with the super soldier serum. So he received a super soldier serum. They sent him in to do battle with various people, but they scrubbed him. It was like he didn't exist. They didn't want him to be associated as Captain America, although he was. They were using him in very much the same way. They just did not want him to be the face of their program. They wanted the face of the program to remain this blonde hair, blue-eyed Steve Rogers. Just watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and if you have already done so, y'all already knew this shit. So we're also getting Danny Ramirez back as Joaquin Torres, and we know that in the comics, Joaquin Torres became Falcon. Yes, he's gonna be the Falcon to Sam Wilson's Captain America. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Yes, we got a all brown, a brown people Captain America Falcon duo. I like that. So is there anything else? Oh, other movies. I guess I could tell you The Manchurian Candidate, both of them. The one from 1962 and the remake, and I forgot what year of that remake was with Denzel Washington. But yeah, y'all know what a Manchurian Candidate is. I hope you do. If not, I'm going to make that your homework. Find out what a Manchurian Candidate is and or watch the movies. and you will know what a paranoid thriller looks like, because that is definitely a paranoid thriller. Um, All the President's Men. Ooh, that one actually will make you feel like, because it's about Watergate and a deep throat and all of the people who played a part in that conspiracy, the Watergate conspiracy, the conspiracy of Richard Nixon, and his role, the government's role in attempting to circumvent democracy in that era. So there was a break-in at the Democratic National Committee that was at the Watergate office complex in Washington, D.C. during the 1972 presidential campaign, and who ordered those break-ins. And now history, we don't need no spoiler alerts, because history has shown us that it was Richard Nixon who ordered those break-ins, and Richard Nixon was then forced to resign in disgrace. He was facing prison time, but Lyndon B. Johnson said, well, we're not going to do. Was it Lyndon B. Johnson? I'm like, look, now I got to look it up. I'm second guessing myself. Anywho, he was pardoned. He was pardoned for those crimes, but no, nevertheless, he committed the crimes. We know that he did, and he eventually uh, was pardoned for those crimes. But that stain still followed him after his resignation. And it's putting me in the mind of where we are in things today. Y'all know it's been some crazy shit going on in the news, and I'm not afraid to touch it. And I don't want anybody to feel any kind of way when I do touch it. Because the bottom line is this. Right now, we know that the former president of the United States walked away from the White House with box loads of documents from his time as president that were classified, very highly classified, or part of the national records. And these things were never supposed to leave the White House, much less they were not supposed to be stored in the basement of the former president's country club or a storage room or wherever it was, right? So now the country is on pins and needles because, of course, we are split between, I see you over here, D, say, touch it, girl. We're split between whether or not we believe this president did these things and should face some type of punishment, or there's the other side where these people believe that, oh, former president never did these things. This is an FBI conspiracy and he better not be indicted. Now, when you have these two factions, one side is actually believing, and we have to call it the truth, right? Let me take Sam off of here. I'm not trying to make him I'm not trying to make him the poster boy for this. Oh, he's still a poster boy. Let's do this. Uh uh there's one side that's saying we saw this. This is the truth. He walked away from the presidency with classified documents, highly classified documents, or documents that were never supposed to leave the White House. They were supposed to be part of the national record. I am in this group. I believe that he did it. I see with my own eyes that he did it. He has admitted on more than one occasion that he did it. The only question now is whether or not he declassified some of these documents. But even if he did, you still cannot take them and store them in your own residence. They contain national secrets, right? Or you can be part of this group who says, "Oh, that didn't happen. The FBI planted that evidence, and if he's indicted, Trump, if he's indicted, then we are going to have a war. We going to fight for this man because we feel like you guys are picking on him." This is where we are. This is a paranoid thriller. Our life is. uh, Davina says he did it because he thinks he's superior. Yes, he thinks the rules do not apply to him. He believes that he should be able to do whatever it is that he wants, that everything belongs to him. And to be honest, look, we have never heard about anything like this ever. I'm 50 years old almost. Got a few months before I'm 50. I have never in my lifetime. As a matter of fact, the last time that something crazy like this happened was in 1973, and I was too young to even know what was going on. I was a baby. That was the Watergate shit. We are in the same position, damn near 50 years later. We got crazy president. We got all of these. We got a very divided United States, because even at least back then, most of the people were like, you know what, Richard Nixon, you did that shit. Now we living in like an alternate reality. Lysandra said he did it. Yeah, I agree. We living in this freaking alternate reality where up is down and right is left to some people. Now, some of us have a firm grip on reality and we can see things for what they really are instead of what we want them to be. This is why I say, and Davina said, and if this was anyone else, they would have been in jail. And Lysandra said he know damn well he could not do that. Going back to what Davina said, if this was anyone else, they would have been in jail. I don't know how many of you know of the young lady named Reality Winner. Reality Winner was, and I don't want to get her credentials wrong. It's okay when I'm just talking, just on a personal note. But I'm putting some something out here, and hopefully, if you had not heard of Reality Winner, you're going to learn about her today. Reality Winner is an American former enlisted U.S. Air Force member, and she was an NSA translator. So she was the person who would intercept, I won't call them enemy, but foreign messages and see if those messages contained threats. She translated these the chatter that was coming over from different foreign governments. In 2018, y'all ready? She was given the longest prison sentence ever imposed for unauthorized release of government information to the media. This was after she leaked reports about Russian interference in the 2016 U.S. elections. So listen to this. She found out for a fact that Russia interfered in the U.S. elections in 2016, and she gave that information, 1 page of classified information. She gave that information to the media. Now, when we think about that, or at least when I think about it, I say, well, shit, she did us a favor. She did what she thought was right as a United States citizen. She did us a favor because now that we know for certain that the government had intercepted this chatter, and we know for certain that the Russians interfered in the 2016 election, we know that that election now was compromised. Possibly, Trump was not even supposed to win. Okay, this is how I feel. Yay, thank you, Reality Winner. But instead of everybody saying, well, thank you, Reality Winner, she was sentenced to 5 years and 3 months in federal prison. a decorated U.S. Air Force member, a NSA translator, which means that she had security clearance. She worked for one of the intelligence agencies, and she had sure proof that Russia interfered in the 2016 election. Because she released that information, and it was a one classified document, she was sentenced to 5 years and 3 months in federal prison. Donald Trump actually was the person who said, and I wish I had a sound bite queued up. Donald Trump was actually the person who said, you know what, during my presidency, I'm going to make the punishment for mishandling classified documents even stronger, because I want to send a message that no one is above the law. Trump said that. And he made the sentence a 5-year minimum, because it used to be a 1-year minimum. He made it a 5-year minimum. And the first person who was, oh, what happened? Lysandra, you must have said something bad, girl. You can get eliminated. Okay, anywho, the first person who was sentenced underneath this new rule or this new law was Reality Winner. She was sentenced to 5 years and 3 months in federal prison. She was employed as a military contractor. She was arrested on suspicion of leaking an intelligence report about Russian interference to the news website called The Intercept. The report indicated that Russian hackers accessed voter registration rolls in the United States with an email phishing operation, though it was unclear whether any changes had been made. Anywho, she went to prison for 5 years and some change. And now she is, I can't see what you said, girl. No, honey, you erased all your messages. It booted you, child. Whatever you said, if you said it with a cuss word or if it was too political, it bumped it. So try to say it again without, changing the words that you use, I guess. But anywho, yeah, Reality Winner. This young girl, she's a young girl. She wasn't like old woman, young child. To me, she's a child. Let me see, how old is she now? Right now she's 30. So when she did this, she was 24-ish. So yeah, she got locked up for a long time. For a long time. To me, 5 years is a long time, right? So that means if she got that for one document, and the person who said nobody is above the law was Trump, then why is he not locked up? And when he gets locked up, it should be not for 5 years. It should be for literally the rest of his life, because of how many documents that were mishandled under his care. Not only that, the fact that some of those documents were stored in boxes haphazardly throughout the storage room, but other documents were found unprotected in his desk, where anybody, according to his attorney, he frequently has guests in this office. How do you know that somebody didn't get a hold to it and see it? How do you know this? How do you know that it really wasn't 5 documents that he had at his desk and somebody came and stole 2? How do we know that? We don't. Because he mishandled these documents in such a poor way, he should spend the rest of his life in prison. But as this thing has been moving on, and I know this was not supposed to be that, we were supposed to be talking about Captain America New World Order, but here we are. Because of that, because of oh gosh, I've lost my train of thought here. Yeah, he has all of these documents. He should be facing prison time, but because he has a certain amount of power, because a lot of these attorneys and judges who have their positions. They have it because they were granted these jobs through Trump. There is a level of we owe him. So now we are circumventing the law to protect Trump. It's getting worse by day. We're not holding uh, Trump to the same standard that we held young reality winner to. Reality winner who we could say we can use the fact that she was just a kid. In my opinion, 23, 24 years old is pretty much a child. She was just a kid when this stuff happened. They held her to the standard of 5 years and some change in prison. But here we have a man who held the highest elected, he was the highest elected official in the land. He, above anyone, should completely understand what's at stake if classified information got into the wrong hands. How many lives could be damaged by that? He's not being held to that standard. I don't think it's fair. I'm not the only person who doesn't think it's fair. But the fact that we have to even think, it's like we are splitting the United States in two. The fact that we even are having this type of conversation. If you came in my house right now and found a stack of bills that were sequentially ordered that were missing from a bank, you wouldn't say, "Oh, well, maybe she got this stuff some other way." They would take me in first and get answers later. And I think that's how things should be handled. I understand that the Department of Justice is in a very precarious position. They're in a position I don't envy the Attorney General of the United States of America. You are trying to bring a case against a former president who thinks he's above the law. But the wheels of justice should not grind this slowly. If it were me, I'd be locked up. If it were you, you'd be locked up. So, New World Order, Captain America, yay! And I've talked a long time about Reality Winner and paranoid thrillers because this is what our life is now. Our whole life is a paranoid thriller. It's just no other way for me to say it. Our whole life is a paranoid thriller. This is just, it's crazy. It's a crazy time to be alive, y'all. It really is. Yeah, it's a crazy time to be alive. Okay, so I've talked about real life and I talked about Captain America New World Order, and I'm looking forward to Captain America New World Order. And if you've not done so, watch The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and you'll see where this thing could possibly potentially be going in the very near future. All right, I've talked enough. I got one more thing. We got a Secret Wars rumor. This is also coming out of the MCU camp because y'all know that Secret Wars is going to be the movie that's going to end the multiverse saga. At least that's what I'm feeling. The Secret War movie is going to be the big movie like Avengers Endgame was. So now we know we're going to get Secret Wars. It's a big deal. It's a very big deal. Yes. So the question is, for a lot of people, who is going to be helming that movie? And there are rumors, and you know when I say the rumor word, that means do not take any of this like it's gospel truth. Take it all with a grain of salt. But the rumor is that it is going to be this guy. And if you are watching on Facebook, then you don't know who this guy is, right? But if you're watching on YouTube, then you know that this guy is Ryan Coogler. And Ryan Coogler is our same director from Black Panther and the upcoming movie Wakanda Forever. So right now it's only a rumor. Um, but I think it's a good rumor. And I'm going to tell you why it would be, in my opinion, that it would be a good thing for Ryan Coogler to helm that movie, uh, Secret Wars. It's a big movie. It's probably going to be the biggest budget of the multiverse saga, right? I think that he should get that role because he, depending upon how things go with Wakanda Forever, if it sees the same level of success, or at least close to the same level of success that he saw with the regular Black Panther movie, if he sees that type of success, then of course he should get that movie. He should get the big movie at the end of the saga. And the reason why is because he has shown that he is multi-talented across many genres. He has done Fruitvale Station. He has done Creed. He has done Black Panther. He has done, and it's never the same type of movie. It's always a different type of movie. He's shown that he is a multifaceted director, and the bigger the budget you give him, the more of a spectacle that his movies are. How well he handles putting a huge budget movie together. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. You had a movie that a lot of people were like, hey, and I'm talking Hollywood people, not us. They were like, hey, you taking a chance by doing this Black Panther movie. Yeah, it was people who thought that, y'all. You're taking a chance by doing this Black Panther movie because black folks are not going to come out and support it. Black folks don't go to the movies and support. They do, they don't. And now you're putting out a movie about a black superhero which may alienate some of your white fans. I don't know why they would think that, but that's a thought that some people had. Oh, it's going to alienate some of your white fans, and then black people don't go to the movies like that. So you'll lose money on this movie. And the dice were rolled. Kevin Feige and Disney said we're going to roll these dice. Because if we feel like if we got the right character, Black Panther, and we got the right director, Ryan Coogler, and we make the right movie, Black Panther, then people will come out and support this movie. Black, white, and in between. But the part that made me the happiest is that black people did come out and support Black Panther. Not only did we come out and support Black Panther, we came out and we were dressed for the occasion. We made it our very own cosplay. And I think that we putting ourselves as part of the story, making ourselves part of the story, was a good way to show that we will support a good black film. We will. Anywho, hoping we do the same thing for Wakanda Forever, even though we got those people kind of separated on should we recast T'Challa or should we just move forward with a new Black Panther. And the fandom is cut in half, but hopefully we can put all that BS aside, come out and support this movie. The only reason I say, or the only way I say don't support the movie is if it's problematic, if they put something in there that just doesn't resonate. But right now, I'm trusting Ryan Coogler to put together another stellar movie like the original Black Panther. I want Wakanda Forever to be its own thing, but to be as successful as Black Panther. But Ryan Coogler has proven that he can do it with a small budget and get success. He can do it with a large budget and get success. Doesn't matter. He is the right man for the job. So if you give him a very clear and concise direction of where you want this thing to go and how many characters you want to be thrown into this hodgepodge, because Secret Wars is going to be a hodgepodge. It's going to be all kinds of characters from all over the MCU. I believe that Ryan Coogler is the man for the job. Now, this is not saying that 100% sure Ryan Coogler is going to get the job, but it is saying that, uh, look, I'm just one fan, but I have the utmost, I guess, let's see now, how am I going to put it? I have the utmost confidence that Ryan Coogler can do what is going to be asked of him to do. I believe it. I believe he has the ability to put on one hell of a Secret Wars movie. So y'all let me know what you think. Lysandra says she can't wait to see, or she can't wait for it to come out. Me either. I'm looking so forward to seeing Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. The previews look spectacular. I'm excited. The Namor with Tenoch Huerta. Namor looks fantastic. It looks like it's upping the stakes. There's going to be some true to life, for real stakes in this movie. We do get an opportunity to mourn the passing of T'Challa. We see Angela Bassett get to monologue and do something bigger as the Queen of Wakanda than we saw her do in the first movie. She kind of was, she had a role, but she was kind of stepped behind the King of Wakanda. Well, now she has to kind of, for at least a little while, be the face of Wakanda. And when we saw her standing before the UN in that trailer, and if you haven't seen the trailer, it is on the After the Snap Hangout page, and you can just look at. It's a lot of trailers there. Just look for it. It's in there, or I'll share it again if you'd like. Let me know in the comments. Anywho, that trailer looked beautiful, beautiful. And when she was standing before the UN, she gave them the business. In just that little snippet we saw, Angela Bassett was Angela Bassett. I'm looking forward to seeing her role be stepped up as the Queen of Wakanda. Let me see. Yeah, there. That was it, really. I don't have a whole bunch left. I'm looking forward to seeing what Ryan Coogler did with this movie, and I really hope that he gets Secret Wars. I hope this is not just a rumor, that this is something that happens, because I believe that man deserves everything. He deserves it all, because from Fruitvale Station all the way through to Creed, all the way through to Black Panther, he has shown us that he understands the assignment. He understands what his audience is looking for, and the size and the scope of things. And as long as he's got a direction, I believe he can do very big things with Wakanda Forever. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about a few little one-offs. I have completed the topics that were in my description. So again, if you want to know what the topics and like get some articles to refer to on these topics, look in the description of this video, of this live stream, and you're going to see exactly where I got my information, right? You're also going to, you can take a look at the description to find out ways that you can support the show, and where you can find me on social media, email, all that good stuff in the description box. I'm going to move and just start touching on a few things. You guys let me know if you got anything that you want to add to what I'm saying. Did y'all watch The Crown? Did anybody besides me watch The Crown on Netflix? Now, I haven't watched these later, I think the later 2 seasons, but I have watched the other seasons. And The Crown has returned to Netflix's top 10 after the Queen's death. Now, I know that was another topic that kind of separated people. And look, I understand. the monarchy, the British monarchy has not always been uh, has not always been her or hasn't always looked kindly upon people that look like me. Okay, Davina said the crown is on her list. It's a good thing. It does tell the story of the monarchy uh, pretty well. It's like if you didn't have if there were holes or gaps in your knowledge about how things went with the British monarchy, that does answer some questions. But we also know that not just the queen, but the entire monarchy, that has been an issue. They have not always been uh, kind to people that look like me, to minorities, to uh, to black people. So, and Irish people and others too. Now, don't think I can only talk about the black folks. I do know the Irish had a little problem too, but I can say this: some of y'all was downright mean when this lady died. Some of you guys were downright low down when this lady passed away. I couldn't find myself. I can't do that. I couldn't be that mean. Uh, but some of y'all that had no problem with that shit. Y'all was mean as hell. Literally celebrating this lady's passing. I couldn't do that. Um, I can say that you did some fucked up shit, Queen. However, I can't. I couldn't get behind just clowning her the way a lot of people did. Even though, and again, I'm not telling you how to feel because if you feel that way, I'm sure you got a valid reason for why y'all was happy to see this lady pass. I yeah, I'm not built like that. I couldn't celebrate like that, y'all. But yeah, so that show has gone to the back to the top 10 of Netflix after the Queen's death, which once again will show you that the staying power of the pop culture the pop culture relevance of some of these high profile people, to include the Queen of England. And now her son is going to be a problematic king of England for a few years, uh, because she sat on the throne for 70 years, right? So because she sat on the throne so long, now she got a 70-year-old son who is just getting the throne. So he ain't gonna live 70 years. We know that. So we know that at some point, maybe not in my lifetime, or possibly maybe in my lifetime, but at some point in the next 20 to 30 years, we'll probably be seeing the next in line, King William, and probably it could very well be the son, his son, and I forgot which one of his boys will be the next king behind William. So we might see the monarchy change 2 or 3 times within the next 30 years. I don't think anybody can sit 70 years again unless Prince William's son somehow gets the throne in his 20s. And then we might get to see a 70-year monarch again. Not wishing no bad luck on them folks, even though they was fucked up to people like this. Okay. Anywho. um, Also, James Earl Jones. There is a Broadway theater that is changing the name of the theater in honor of hey Reinhardt, long time no see, buddy. Yeah, there's a Broadway theater officially being renamed for James Earl Jones in a dedication ceremony. This came to me from Deadline because this is not one of my main topics down in my description. So I'm just letting you know. Broadway officially welcomed the James Earl Jones Theater to its ranks as the 110-year-old and much renovated former Court Theater was renamed in a dedication ceremony attended by Samuel L. Jackson, Latanya Richardson Jackson, Brian Stokes Mitchell, Norm Lewis, and New York City Mayor Eric Adams. Broadway director Kenny Leon told the Associated Press, "It means everything. You can't think of an artist that has served America more." Reinhardt said that he is at the theater working in the box office right now. Reinhardt, let me know what the Woman King is looking like in your neck of the woods. Let me know what that uh, box office is looking like. Okay, so that Broadway theater was renamed, and it becomes the second Broadway theater named after a black artist. The other is Lena Horne. Uh, no, no, no. I'm sorry. The other is August Wilson Theater, and that there is another theater being planned to be named after Lena Horne. So then we will have three of those, three theaters. Davina says she's heard about this one. Yeah, she's into that Broadway scene though. So yeah, I can see how you might have heard about this. It'll be of particular interest to you. James Earl Jones himself was unable to attend the dedication ceremony, but he was given a private tour of the facility on September 8th. I forget how long James Earl Jones has been with us. He is 91 years old. Oh, Reinhardt said he couldn't tell me how the Woman King is doing out there because it's his first day working in a week out there, and it is absolutely dead. Now, going back to the Woman King conversation, I mean, we've been saying that people were talking about boycotting this movie, and maybe that theater is seeing, maybe the theater that Reinhardt works at is seeing some of the repercussions of those who said that these people are like, we're not going to support this movie because even though you got this big beautiful black cast, the subjects are problematic. They are people who were instrumental in the transatlantic slave trade, and we ain't touching that. So there's that. Okay. So again, when I come back here next week, and I've got a couple more announcements that you guys may have missed if you didn't catch me at the beginning of the show. Anywho, when I come back here next week, I might have more information. I will have more information about how the Woman King performed, but there are. I can see both sides. I can see both sides of the argument on that Woman King controversy. Uh, let's see. Monday Night Football, the season opener last week, broke all kinds of records for ESPN. It was the most viewed. It set the ESPN viewership record as Seattle stopped Denver. Now, if you don't know the significance of Seattle playing Denver, that is where Russell Wilson, Seattle, is where he played for many years, and Denver is where he is right now. He played many, many years for the Seattle Seahawks, and Seattle, kind of wasn't interested in re-signing him. We're actually looking to shop him, and Russell Wilson said, he'll move on. It's fine. He'll move on. And that score was 17-16, so it was a very close game. But they won. Seattle beat Russell Wilson and his new Denver Broncos team. Um, Davina said, "I get it, but the story still needs to be told. Hell, all of the movies about history aren't pretty, but still the story is told." I get what you're saying. I haven't seen the movie myself. The problem that many of the dissenting voices were saying is that the story isn't being told accurately. Now, if you are going to gloss over the fact that this group of women were instrumental in sending African people off into slavery, if you're going to gloss over that, then you're not telling the story. I agree that the story should be told, but it has to be told accurately. It has to uh, not. It doesn't have to place an emphasis on the role that this kingdom played in the transatlantic slave trade, but it does have to accurately depict. Now there are some people who did see that movie who said, "Hey, they did talk about it, and it was satisfactory to them." There's another group that said, "I ain't even about to give this movie a chance, and all we gonna do is shit on it." I'm sitting somewhere squarely in the middle. Like I haven't seen the movie, but if the movie uh, talks about that aspect of the Dahomey kingdom in a satisfactory way and makes it like give us an adequate description of how they were a problem, how they might have been the reason why we're sitting in the United States of America watching this on this screen. If if that is adequately addressed, I'm okay with it. Davina also said Geno's showed out. So that was is that Seattle's new coach? I mean new not coach, quarterback. Reinhardt said, Tasha, the last I heard about the Woman King, I was watching the channel and they were upset because they felt that the Woman King puts black women over black men. I have heard that as well. I didn't touch on that because I don't see that as being maybe I have to look more into why people have that feeling. I'm thinking that there was like it was a king in this movie. The king was played by John Boyega. So John Boyega's character is the king. Why are you trying to say this woman was a king? And if you want to talk about the woman being a big deal, why couldn't she be a queen? Why are you giving her a title that is reserved for a man when there is an equal title that you can use for a woman, king and queen? So I have heard that as well, Reinhardt. I didn't 100% agree, but at the same time, I didn't give it much of a. Uh, I didn't try to look at the philosophy behind why people felt that way. I can I can kind of work it out in my mind, and I can see both sides, but that didn't bother me as much as that whole transatlantic slave trade thing. I'm just being honest. Um, if I look at the fact that they called this movie The Woman King, and I find that they were trying to, in another way, undermine black men, I might come back and have something else to say. But for today, I feel like it's much ado about nothing. That's the way I feel right now. That could change tomorrow. I'm a woman. I reserve the right to change my mind. Now, Davina said that yes. So I'm a guess that Gino is the the Seattle Seahawks' new quarterback. But going back into ESPN, um, that was a big. As a matter of fact, we can tie it back to the Emmys. Monday Night Football's viewership was 236% greater than the Emmys that showed on NBC at the same time. Now, um, goes back to another thing that I was saying. The Emmys were not marketed correctly. I don't feel like we even really knew that the Emmys were coming on. The Emmys faced off against Monday Night Football, which that won't end well because you don't have to market Monday Night Football the same way you should market the Emmys. And I feel like you know part of me feels like it's not coincidental that so many black women won, and that this is how that broadcast was treated during this season, this Emmys award season. Reinhardt said, I saw one review on it, and the Woman King, and that reviewer said the movie was amazing, said it was a perfect movie, but that person never brought anything up about the controversy. Okay, and that's another thing. Like, if you don't know about a controversy, if you don't know about this stuff, then it's not going to bother you. In fact, I was unbothered until I learned what the Dahomey tribe really was. Or not tribe, I keep saying tribe. They were a kingdom. What the Dahomey kingdom really was, what they stood for, what the implications of their actions were on other Africans who were sold into slavery. Once I learned that, now things get to be a little problematic. At the same time, does that mean boycott a movie? Um, we can't have it both ways. We want to see more movies that are telling a story that is a big black story. This is a big old black story with big old black women and just beautiful. The biggest problems that I have seen is that the transatlantic slave trade thing, this thing that Reinhardt just brought up about uh, the name of the movie being King, woman king, when she really would be like a queen. But anywho, that was another problem. And the third problem was that this movie was written by two Caucasian women, and they don't feel like, for there are a group of people, and they are vocal. There are a group of people who don't feel like uh, this is a story that should have been told by white people, and this is not a conversation about the complicity of other African people in the enslavement of some African people. They don't feel like this is a conversation that we should have in mixed company amongst uh, white people and others. They feel like this should be something that we handle in house, and to that I don't agree with that. I I don't agree with that because let's not sugarcoat shit. Like I said at the beginning, or when we talked about the woman king thing, let's not sugarcoat shit. We did have black people who were also complicit with selling other Africans into slavery. That did not mean that the white people who bought these slaves needed to come over here and be savage in their dealings with them. Both of these things can be true. The black folks was wrong over there in Africa, the homies and all the people like them. And the white folks who mistreated slaves and owned people, owned human beings, sold them like cattle, those people were wrong too. And I believe that this conversation can be had in a grown up and respectful way, to with mixed company and in our own corners. And I believe that, black folks, we have these kind of conversations in private where we talk to one another and be like, yeah, y'all know it was some black people who did do us dirt. And I hope that there in white circles are people that say, yeah, we now that we just in here talking to each other and we don't have no black people within earshot, we was fucked up about the things that we did, and we do owe these people uh not just an apology. You owe us a little bit more than an apology. But okay, we can start with apologies, and I know that there are so many of my white friends and counterparts who have treated me better than some black people. Let's be real. But then there are also people who, when you bring up the subject of slavery, they get defensive. They put their guard up. They do not want to talk about this. They don't want to talk about how they benefited from that system, even though it's all over the place. They definitely have. But anywho, I'm not trying to stay on that too long. Y'all know I've been chatty today. Once I get into something, I get to chatting, and then I don't shut up. So, anywho, another thing, we got National Cinema Week. I forgot what week that is. I'm gonna look that up on my little thing. National Cinema Week. Go to your movie theaters, support your local theaters during National Cinema Week. I don't know if there are people or if these theaters are having uh, special. Oh, what word am I looking for, y'all? What word am I looking for, Reinhardt? Y'all help me. I don't know if theaters are having like special events. Gosh, that hurt my head trying to think of that word, events. I don't know if they're having special events for National Cinema Week, but a smaller event called National Cinema Week has been set for October 7th through 13th. This is the second annual push to celebrate moviegoing in the US, Canada, and the Caribbean. Over 1,200 theaters repping 1,200 plus screens are participating, and more may join. The dates are 1 week later than Cinema Week had previously been announced in March. So, events include Community Day, where the theaters will host more than 6,500 underserved youth at free Saturday morning showings of Sony's Lyle Lao Crocodile, presented by the Independent Cinema Alliance. So, yeah, thank you for trying to help me, Davina. It was events, but discounts help too. But so one of the events they're talking about, and I don't know if if a theater local to you will be doing this, but they're having Community Day, and they're going to be showing free Lao Lao Crocodile for underserved youth on a Saturday morning that week. Most cinemas are offering unlimited popcorn all week. There's a family day on Sunday and a special loyalty club member rewards and prizes on Monday. Now, Cinema Week is also helping to market a handful of event screenings, but not all of them are previously planned. Um, Davina says she's going to see Woman King tomorrow. Let me know, without spoiling anything, let me know what you thought. I am interested in knowing. And then game 4 of the WNBA, the Suns versus Aces. That is now who are the Aces? I know Phoenix is the Suns, and there have been some issues. Yes, y'all, there have been some issues, but I don't know who the Aces are. I'm trying to figure out. I don't know what city they represent. Now, Cinema Week is based at smaller regional chains, so neither AMC nor Regal are participating. Um, they offer a few free tickets, but they're gonna make the most they can out of it by doing that Loud Loud Crocodile thing and a few other things. So keep your eyes and ears open at a theater near you. Las Vegas Aces. That's why I don't know, because they the Vegas team. Yeah. uh, but yeah, look for your local theaters to see if any are participating, and get behind your local theaters, especially the smaller ones. They need help too. They need to help staying open. Um, it appears that we're going to be headed into a new block of where big blockbusters are coming out week after week after week. But things have been kind of quiet at the cinema front. And I think that we should try to support these smaller theaters, support theaters in general. Even though I am, I still have my issues about uh, getting out and going out very much. Just know that in my heart of hearts, if I could, I would be out there with you at the theaters. So there's that. Davina was talking about the Aces. They were previously in San Antonio a few years ago. Okay. And then Reinhardt said, Tasha, he said, Reinhardt said he just had two young black ladies come up and buy tickets to the Woman King. So hopefully, that is a good sign that people are going to give this movie a chance. I don't I don't believe in censoring people, but at the same time, you can't tell this story in half-ass it. I'm gonna wait to see what Dee tells me tomorrow when she goes to see this movie, and I'll let you guys know her thoughts. Or she might, who knows? With Davina, she might join me. She might join me here and tell you her thoughts herself. Me and her, we'll put our heads together and figure out something. What else? Oh, what else was on my list? Oh, one of the things that's coming out of streaming is that y'all know that Paramount and Showtime are owned by the same, they all intertwined. They owned by the same folks. They are saying that it's a possibility that Showtime is going to join forces with Paramount, where they're going to end Showtime and put all the content over on Paramount Plus. This has not been written in stone yet. It is a merger that is being discussed. But let me know if there are pros and cons to this for you. I'm going to tell you what the cons are for me. Oh, Davina says she'll join me to tell me about this. Good. I'm so glad. We'll put our heads together about the timing of things.
Incoming voice call from Chloe.
Uh-oh, the hotline. Let me answer this real quick.
Incoming.
Yes.
Mama,
Yes.
you still on TV?
Yes.
Dang. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm in the restroom and Ash up here crying, but he's in his bouncer.
Where Queen at?
He went to the store.
Oh. Okay, well, give me a second. I'm going to go get him.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so you guys wanted this. I'm going to give us a little break real quick while I go and get off-screen producer Ashton and bring him on the show. So give me just a couple minutes and I'm going to go get the kid. have returned with the off-screen producer. I got off-screen producer Ashton. He about to shut this show down. Ashton said the show has gone on long enough, but I'm going to give y'all a peek. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Say hello. Oh, you mad? Ooh, you big mad. You big mad. Ooh, you big mad, fatty. Okay, so, Davina said Ash, the future podcaster. Yes, Ash he is about his business, honey. There he is. And Reinhardt said just had 2 more people buy tickets for the Woman King. I'm excited for that. Yes, thank you. I hope that y'all can hear me still because I don't have my other mic on. I'm so silly. Yeah, I don't have the one that I had clipped to me on because Ashton he'll get tangled up in that. He's like, what are we doing? What are we doing, Gigi? We are on the show. Yeah, but we were talking about Showtime. Yep, what's that? Yep, I'm gonna have to end the show real soon because it looks like you're hungry. Yes, he is getting big, Lysandra. Yes, he is. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey. He might be telling me that it's time to get off. Yeah, this is usually how he says the show is over. This is why he's the producer, and I'm just, the on-screen talent. He knows exactly how long a show should go on. Davina said Aces are up 77-71 with 25 seconds left. What game is this, Davina? And then, last but not least, I'm going to talk about Picard real quick. Just give you October 8th is going to be their last, the final. Oh baby, the final Comic-Con for season 3 of Picard. Who knows? We might not see Patrick Stewart at a Comic-Con anymore. This might be the very last one. So if you are in position to go to that Comic-Con, I say make it. Go, because this could be history. You could be seeing the last time that you'll see Patrick Stewart and some of the others, especially that crew from the TNG series. Oh, Kim's so mad. I gotta go, y'all. Yeah, I gotta go. But it has been fun. Oh, Davina said Aces are gonna be the champs with this win, and I have got to. I'm back on Gigi duty. I can't talk no more. Ashley said it's over. So it's over. It's been fun. Look in the description box for ways to contact me or support the show. And I'll see you in the next.